In the heart of a living shining city called Kamara, there was a man richer than the kings. His name was Chief Abu Dele. He wore a long flowing robes of white and gold, his shoes made of crocodile leathers, and his scars were so long and bright they looked like a silver snake moving through the streets. People in Kamara called him the king of city. He owned tall buildings, oil companies, bus stations and markets, even the stadium. He could make rain fall in his farm when others cry for water. He could make police disappear and bad men vanish. No one crossed Chief Abu Dele and lived to tell about it. But behind his fine clothes and white smile, Chief Abu Dele kept a dark, deadly secret. He married many women, beautiful ones with bright eyes and laughter that sounded like bells, women from different villages and cities. Each time the city danced and clapped hands at the wedding, gifts froze like livers. Drum beats through the night, the chief would smile and say, "This is my final wife." But people noticed a strange thing. Whenever one of the Chief Abu Dele's wives became pregnant, she disappeared, one by one. First, it was Nne. She was said to have run off with a village trader. Then Nkechi claims to have traveled to see her sick mother. Then Amma. Rumor has it that she was drowned while swimming. By the time Sis' wife has vanished, the people of Cameroon whisper in dark corners. Where do the chief wives go? What happened when their bellies grew big? No one dared to speak too loudly, not in Cameroon, not under Abu Dele's watch. But the old woman who sold herbs at the market knew. The blind beggar at a crossroad felt it. The children who play by the chief's fence at night held the heads, horn and cry. The ground beneath the chief mansion was not clean. Chief Abu Dele went far away from the city he lived to marry a new wife. Her name was Zena. She came from the village of Okuta, a place where old people still told stories by the fire, and the wind carried secrets in the tree. Zena was different from the other girls. She was beautiful. Yes, her skin like rich cocoa, her hair like waves of night, her smile brighter than the morning. But she was also wise. Her grandmother, Mama Nera, was a seer. She could tell when the rain would fall, when a stranger brought bad news, or when a baby would be born with a mark of destiny. Before Zena left for Kamara, Mama Nera held her hands and said, "Child, when you enter a house where mirrors whisper and shadow follow you, remember the earth beneath your feet. Remember everything. Listen to the wind. Watch the ground." Zena did not understand then, but she nodded. When Chief Abu Dele came asking for her hand in marriage, her family was filled with joy. Who would refuse the king of the city? He sent long cars, cows, bags of salt, oil and cakes of palm wine. Musicians played, dancers twerked, and drums spoke. And so Zena married Chief. From the outside, Chief Abu Dele's mansion was the most beautiful in Kamara. Tall grasses wells, swimming pool, and sparkle like stars, garden with flower from far away lands. But from the first night, Zena knew something was wrong. At night, she will heard soft singing, woman's voice, the mirror flung over without reason, and sometimes a face not her own appeared. When she asked the servants, they grew silent. One old woman, Mama Sonto, the herbalist of the house, only uttered, "Madam, don't ask questions that the ground has buried." But Zena could not rest. Then the dream began. In her sleep, she saw women in white standing by a large tree with roots stained with blood. Their berries heavy, their eyes empty. "Help us," they called to her. "Find the door, break the ground." Zena woke up shaking. Soon, Zena realized she was pregnant. The chief smiled a strange way. Crook smiled when she told him, He called for more gifts, more drums, but his eyes was not joyful. They were cold. Zena began to fear for her life. At night, the voices in the wind grew louder. The mirrors began to speak. Run, sister, leave now. But where could she go? The gate was guided. The houses watched. Then came Ayo. Ayo was a small street boy who sold kola nuts by the fence. Clever and fast, and with ears like a cat. He slipped a small paper into Zena's hand one morning. Midnight by the old mango tree. Secret beneath the ground. At midnight, Zena sneaked out, her heart pounding like a drum. The air was thick, the ground was wet from evening rain. Ayo waited under the tree. I know where they are, he whispered. I hear the ground talking. With Ayo's help, Zena found a hidden door behind the herbed garden. It slowed down a narrow tone. The walls smelled of earth and old sorrow. Deeper they went, the air turned cold. And there at the end was a wide room, lighted by candles made of towel. On the walls, the name of the missing wives were carved. And in the center of the room, 7 shallow graves, 6 of them marked, 1 open, waiting for her. Zena, breath caught in her throat as she stared at the open grave. The earth around it was fresh torn. The scent of dove soil thick in the air. Thin white stone circle, the empty hole like a watching eyes. Above it, a piece of lead cloth, the same clothes Zena wore in her hair. Ayo, standing beside her, gripped her hand. See, madam, he whispered, his voice trembling. He's waiting for you, the chief. The earth, it wants you too. Zena's hands shook, but she fought the fear rising in her chest. Where are the others, the wives, she asked. Ayo pointed to the 6th grave, marked with small stone. They are there, buried alive, before their baby came. The chief made a deal with something bad a long time ago. Every wife with a child, he must bury her or lose his power. Zena's heart pounded so loudly. She thought the earth might hear it. What? What kind of deal? She asked. Long ago, he began. Before you and me, before the city was bright and tall, there was an old god in his land, the god of wrath and blood. Chief's father made a pact with it. Riches and long life in exchange for one thing. No child must be born in his bloodline, without the earth taking the mother first. Ayo dropped the soil, his hands stained dark. Chief Abu Dele kept the deal alive. Every time a wife grew big with a child, she vanished into this ground. The earth take her. The chief stays rich and the city forgot. Zena covered her mouth, tears streaming down her eyes. She thought of her grandmother's warning. The faces in the mirror, the singing at night. It was all true. We have to leave, Zena said, turning to leave. But Ayo grabbed her ribs. You can't just run. If you run, he will find you. He always find them. Zena felt her unborn child kicked in her belly, as if it was urging her forward. Then what do I do? She asked. Ayo's eye glowed in a candlelight. We break the deal. We wake what sleep in the ground. What's the only way to stop him? Zena hesitated. The air in the room grew colder. The flame of the candle widely. A soft, sorrowful voice filled the room. Help us, the 6th grave trembled. Ayo took a small calabash from his pocket. Inside was something black and thick, an old charm his grandmother had made. We pour this on the grave. The ground will release them. The spirit will rise. The earth will take its depth back. Zena's hand trembled as she took the calabash. If we do this, what will happen? Ayo's gas was steady. The city will shake. The chief will fall. The old god will wake, but only for a moment. Then it will go back to sleep. It will demand one thing. The one who breaks the deal must leave the city forever. Zena closed her eyes. She thought of the unborn child in the womb of the woman buried in the earth. of the people of Kamaro walking in blindness while evil fed under their feet. She made her choice. At dawn, as the city of Kamaro still slept under eating mist, Zena stood alone in the grave chamber. Ayo had gone to keep the watchmen busy. The calabash felt heavy in her hands. She spoke loudly, the old words her grandmother had once taught her. I call the ground to open. I call the earth to remember. I call the blood to rise. She poured the dark liquid over the open grave. The earth hissed, the ground shook. One by one, the 6 graves cracked open, and the air filled with a tremble beautiful sound. The voice of the dead wives, rising like a smoke, singing a song older than the city itself. Freedom! 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 The house trembled. The windows shattered. From the soil, 6 fingers rose, draped in white clothes, their eyes glowing like stars. Thank you, sister, they whispered to Zena. There came the roar, a tremble ancestor sound from deep below. The old god was shaking. The walls cracked, and from the floor burst a creature of earth and shadow. Its voice was like 10 times drums. Who breaks the pact? Who calls me? Zena stepped forward, her child moving within her. It is I, Zena of Okonta. This evil ends now. The old god snored. The depth is old, the city is mine, I will take it. But the 6 women circled Zena, raising their hands. Their voice became one, singing an old song of the rivers, the sky and the stars. The god struck. The earth shook violently, then still. And with one final roar, the shadow vanished, dragged back into the soil. The graves closed. The 6 women faded into the light. Only peace remained. Chief Abu Dele was found at dawn, sitting alone in his room, his hair white as snow, his eye empty, his fortune gone, his power broken. The people of Kamaru rose that morning to find the mansion is ruined. The once mighty chief was sent into exile, wandering the road like a madman, warning of the earth's hunger. No one ever saw him again. Zena left Kamara, her child safe in her arms. She never returned. But however, she went. Rivers flowed, sweeter. Trees bore more fruits, and women told her story by moonlight. The old god never woke again, and the ground at last slept peacefully. Moral lesson: when the earth remembers, no secret can stay buried forever. And a woman's courage can break even the oldest coast. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe. It means a lot to me. Thank you.